So if say someone wanted to connect with you and they're realizing maybe when they try to say their name they couldn't, and they want to connect with someone like you to help free their voice, I'm going to call you the liberator.
I love it.
To free that voice, right? The voice liberator. How can they contact you? How can they reach out to you?
So to visit my website, which is mytraemeliana.com, Mytrae, you'll have the link. And there is an opt-in, actually, 7 steps to speak your truth. So it's kind of perfect that we're talking about this. And so they can reach out to me there. They can email me. They can find me on social media and just connect with me and reach out. And I work with women one-on-one, and I do groups. So whatever, is they, however they want to work with me, they certainly can. And it doesn't have to take long. These days things are moving really fast. Therapy is a whole other question, but now the work because I'm using sound as a sound, it moves very and spirit. It's things shifts. People are shifting very, very quickly these days.
It's spiritual. It's spiritual. That's
It's very
what you're saying.
spiritual. It's very
Yeah.
spiritual. It's their soul. The person's soul is really what I work with.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. It's just beautiful because, we're all born to be who we are, and all of that gets hidden or trapped or cut off. And my work is to just call those bits and pieces back, and then once is enough, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so
I
that's
love
how they
it.
can find me.
So if you had to, from all this experience that you've had and you've worked with women, if you had to say something to your younger self, what would it be?
Choose you.
Hmm. Choose you.
And follow your heart.
Instead of seeking approval or permission, choose you. Because many of us, that's what we do. We seek approval,
Right. I
especially the
choose you.
voiceless. The
Right.
voiceless, we will choose others,
Right.
the givers, right? The givers. And a lot of times givers is they're in the space of giving because they don't give to themselves.
That's right.
They place themselves last.
Right. They don't
And in
even
some
know.
cultures, yeah, in some cultures that's very honorable to place yourself last.
Right. It
And
was.
it's not being it's right, it's not being selfish if you choose you. Wow. This piece is strong. I mean, I'm gonna cut this part out, but that's how powerful what it is that you're saying.
Yeah. I mean,
It is very powerful. It's
it is, and
powerful.
it's not just even a culture. I mean, these even with an executive, a highly placed executive, it's the same thing. It's the same vein that I see women playing out,
Mm,
and you know, again, at some level, a woman gives herself up, whether it's for this high flying career or abusive relationship or the cultural norms, whatever it is, because we're fed these stories of this is what success looks like or this is what achievement looks like. But they're in these masculine ways. And women forget to check in with their hearts and don't have permission, whether they're high flying executives or whether they're the voiceless. There's that permission to just be and choose you. Sometimes that's, it's needed. We need to hear that from someone else because we can't quite think that for ourselves.
so what are things that a person who's listening to us and they want to start this journey of choosing themselves? She wants to choose herself.
Hmm.
And there's some men too, I would say, that's going through the same situation. But if a person wanted to choose himself, what would you say would be the first, like, if you could give a couple of tips, or three to five steps that they would need to follow to get this process started?
The first would be to to take 15 minutes at some point and just sit and reflect about their life. To take a break from all the running around that we do and just sit, go for a walk if you need to, just with that goal. In what areas of my life am I not happy? Do I
Mm.
feel tired and drained? And which relationships make me feel not happy and tired and drained? Very simple. It's just that awareness. And then to ask themselves, could it be any different? Is it possible? And if so, if they want that, and again, it's always a choice. It's
Hmm.
always a choice.
Or they can take the easy route, just call you.
Oh, they can call me, right? But if they want to do this, they can take this 15 minutes and just think, and then and then to like ask their heart, is that how they want to feel, or
Hmm.
do they want to feel different in that relationship, in those situations, and what, and then what, and then is it, yeah, and then the possibility of something. Is there another possibility that they would like to explore? And then they can reach out to, whether it's me or somebody else. It's not about
Hmm.
me, but it's to go through
To
that little
start
process of awareness and reflection.
to know that they need to go through this process. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
the initializing it, to say, you know what,
yeah,
I need to go through this. It's not something I can hide. It's not something I can numb anymore,
right,
because a lot of numbing happens, whether it's
right,
through over shopping, overeating, over gossip, whatever it is, or over whatever, or under sometimes. But this is it needs work. No
mm,
matter what, there's some type of work that needs to happen,
right,
and the person can try it themselves, or maybe take the process of going through this journey with with someone like you.
yeah,
And have you seen where it's interesting how we mentioned the over and the under, because just as I mentioned that you may have someone that's voiceless, I've seen it too where a person feels that to be heard, they have to get super loud. So they exaggerate. So, like, I'm hearing your voice. You have a very soothing voice, and it's very powerful. Your voice is very powerful, but you're not yelling. You're not because you're in your truth. You're in your space. And a lot of times, like you mentioned about the masculinity, of a person feeling like they have to go masculine, or versus choosing who they are as a and on the feminine aspect of who we are. A lot of times the strength doesn't have to come from over, it's just really being in your authentic truth, and your authentic self, and knowing that what you're saying has value, who you are is worthy, and what it can do is valid. And I think in
right,
those type of in that anchoring, right, in centering yourself, you don't have to raise your voice. You could say move to the left, and it's believed.
right,
And
right,
you can speak. And I see that a lot of times with the coaches that I work with. It's like they feel like maybe sometimes that they have to over exaggerate something, or say
yeah,
repeat things, and
yeah,
you have to get to that point where once you say it once, it's believed. But it won't be believed until you believe it.
right.
And you can't believe it, as you mentioned, until you do the work that you're mentioning right now. It's so important. I mean, well, you're doing some great work here, my trade, and it's
Thank you.
it's important. It's important for us to to recognize that. And it starts with that reflection. Like you mentioned, it really starts with that reflection.
Yeah.
Is there any way that you feel like sometimes a person would come to you and let's say like they leave the conversation, maybe I don't know if you're doing strategy or workshops, but there are times that as everyone is leaving and packing up and going their way, and you say, gosh, I wish people would ask me this more. I wish that the ladies would do this more or less. Like, have you come out of a workshop or a process with someone and say, I wish everyone knew this?
Oh, all the time. I mean, and this is what the women say too. It's like, it's like this is nobody, people don't learn this in school. This
No, no,
this
this is
this
later.
ability to transform ourselves is just as important as math or geography or
Hmm.
English. I think it's it's an
It's more important.
essential.
It's actually
Yeah,
more
it's more
important.
important. It is. I mean, it's how to be human, how you fundamentally human and gloriously human.
Hmm.
That I think it's so. I think it's so, like you said, it's more important.
It's more important.
I keep thinking that, and that's always on my mind. How can more women, especially, get this?
We want to ask, of course, I love to hear like words that we're connected with. Do you have three words or several words that to describe who you are or what it is that you do?
Well, I can give my bio kind of spiel. Like I help women, blank, blank, blank. Is that what you're looking for?
Usually like three words is like awareness, intentionality, like
Oh, okay,
if
got it.
to describe your
Oh,
to
okay,
describe so it what the whole point behind those words is really to help you connect with whoever's looking for your services.
okay,
So sometimes those three words tend to ring value to those people who are listening. It's a branding. I'm big on branding. And then the other one, once I asked you for, how do you serve others, and that becomes your slogan, right, or your mission statement. Okay.
right, right.
So, what
So
three words that you feel that are connected to you of who you are, what it is that you do, or you know, or help support how
yeah,
others see what it is that you do?
okay. So for me, it would be heal, transform,
Mm,
and awake.
I love that. Heal, transform, and awake.
Yeah,
That's a deep seated work
it is.
to heal.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it's not
that's some
everybody could
heavy
do it.
lifting. No,
No,
not the
that's what my
healing,
people.
transform. Yeah.
Yeah, it's big stuff. Yeah, so yeah, yeah, but that's what I do.
So everyone should call you Dr. Mytrae, huh? Have you
Doctor of
ever
the
thought about
soul.
getting a doctorate?
I did when I was, thinking about becoming a therapist. I was like, should I do a master's? Should I get a PhD? And PhD was 7+ years plus the dissertation, and this was just 3 of it. There's no question. I don't need all of that.
And
And and
in some fields,
it's not about academic. I feel like
mm,
I'm a doctor. I feel like I'm a midwife of the soul. I really think that that's what I do.
midwife of the soul. Woohoo! That sounds like a jackpot. Hmm. Because and at the end of the day, it's liberating. You're liberating.
Yeah,
You're moving something from a space of enclosure into freeing space. It's like letting a dog loose in the farm, and they run for up all the way up to the horizon. The
right,
horizon.
right. A dog that's been caged. Yeah.
Yeah, it just came out of a cage. I don't know if you ever seen that. There's a meme. They show your dog just taking off, but definitely liberating to the soul.
Yeah.
And if there is one thing that you love to share, one last thing that you love to share with the audience, what would it be?
You have music in you. Sing your song.
Hmm. Hear your song, huh?
Sing your song.
Sing your song. And what a beautiful thing it is to hear yourself sing your own song.
Right.
Hmm. Instead of someone else's song.
Right.
Sing your song.
Yeah.
So Mytrae, how do you serve the world?
I help women heal from trauma, detox from patriarchy, and find their voice, their truth, their power, and their purpose, and connect with the divine feminine. I help women become all that they are, and know who they are.
What a great way to round this up. It was an honor. I really enjoyed our conversation, Mytrae, and I know that there's going to be plenty who's going to connect with you to get support and getting liberated. Like I feel liberated just talking with you. Whew, I could take a deep breath.
Great.
So I'm excited to share with the Your Inspired Journey family that it is possible to not have to stay in a space of imprisonment within yourself, but to really feel what it feels, to really feel liberation from yourself. And to know that there are people like Mytrae who's able to help you, support you, nurture you, and just hold you in a space where you can freely do this with no judgment, but only with encouragement, empowerment, but most importantly, love. Reach out to her, talk to her, and see how she can help you become a better version of yourself. With that, thank you for stopping by at Your Inspired Journey. I'm Carla Andrews, and I see you soon.